and good evening. Welcome to the Deltahead stream. I am James Howell, and tonight we're doing part 1 of Fatal Frame 4, which was developed by Grasshopper Manufacture, was released on the Wii, is I think the only Fatal Frame game to date not to get an English or a Western release or any kind of localization in any territory. This was very exciting for me to be able to play initially. There is a fan translation out there that is serviceable, and I am grateful to the folks who put that together. I know from firsthand experience that is quite a chore and a labor of love, not merely to get done in terms of the words, but also to just get technically going. Excuse me. So this is a hard patched version. The original emulation on this, you would put the disc into your system. You would load it through a bootstrapping program that would essentially apply the patch in real time. That is not a setup I have available, but I can. What I have done is have taken the English patch, which is any of the textures that they updated, any of the language, any of the strings, and just replace that in the game itself. And I'm running that version. So, some of the text, again, this is a fan translation. They did the best with what they could, but there are many things about the UI that could not really be adjusted. So there's some text overlap where the Japanese was maybe 2 characters long and the English is maybe 3 or 4. And when we get to that, I'll try to read that out loud if that is easier for me to see than for you. So, yeah. Super excited. I got to play this game for the first time, I think, in 2020, and it's always been in the back of my mind as something that would be a particularly cool thing for this stream, because I don't think there are many streams of this game out there, at least none that I've found. So, so pregame show, real quickly, I finished this. Oh my god, I finished a book. It feels so good. Mieko Kawakami's All the Lovers in the Night. This is lovely. This is almost a character portrait book, and it does a great job of bringing the main character to life, dramatizing her state of mind, and also not offering it as something to fix, but something to reach fulfillment, I think. And I like that very much. I like characters whose struggles are not patly solved, and whose personalities are not problems to fix, but to find maybe a moment of rest, a moment of cadence, to find happiness in the aftermath of friction and disaster, or to just simply find a new self, or find a new version of their old self. And that's what this novel accomplishes. It is beautiful. The title becomes the meaning of the title becomes apparent on literally the very last page, and the entire time I was thinking, is this like a weird translation of the title? Is this maybe something frivolous or tossed off and sort of slapped onto the book? You kind of never know. But then the last page hits, and it's evident what it means, and it does not mean anything near what one might think it means based on the rest of the book that happened. So I'm speaking in broad strokes in case you would like to read it yourself. I highly recommend it. Mieko Kawakami's All the Lovers in the Night. Translated quite handsomely by Sam Bett and David Boyd. So these are accomplished translators, for sure. Other than that, so this is wonderful. I highly recommend it. If you can get yourself a shortwave radio, get one, because listening to broadcasts across the world is fantastic if you can get a clean enough signal. There's also a station run by the NIST, National Institute of Standards and something. It's basically the American institute that governs measurement standards and things like that. And they have a timekeeping station that at certain minutes during the hour will give pre-planned announcements. And one of the planned announcements that they have, I think at the 18-minute mark, is actually in cooperation with the NOAA, an announcement of space weather. So geomagnetic activity coming from the sun or anything that's going to be hitting the Earth or impacting the Earth. There's an announcement of that of that state, and that's great. I think it's awesome. It's so cool to find and listen to, and I highly recommend it if you have interest in it. And yeah. But yeah, that's just really quick pregame show. Let me, this is zoomed out a little further than I usually do. Let me zip this on in here. There we go. All right. Yeah, the chair is a little further back because this is a Wii game and I am playing it on the hardware. I need a little more distance from the machine itself because the the bar needs to be able to pick it up. So, very good. 1 second. It's always very interesting for me to stream something that's a little more obscure, or maybe a lot more obscure like this, after doing something like Demon Souls, which has a very present and engaged fan base who will show up. And I don't know if hardly anybody even knows this game exists, but I do, and I like it. So I like Fatal Frame as a series. And it's very cool to see a grasshopper version of one. Oh, let me get that audio turned on for you. Which I had muted because the sort of jingly sound of the Wii's menu music, while soothing, can be a little grating after a little while. Free translation project produced by Tempest, Chahi, and... oh, lost it. Mr. Mongoose. I think much of this is lost to time now. A lot of the... this was actually very hard to pull together when I was making the hard patch on it. There's been every effort to translate the game, but please be aware that not only will the characters be speaking in their native language, but the game will contain many cultural references. Please use Wikipedia to your advantage. You know, when I played this last, I didn't have headphones on.
写真の場所でも何も思い出せなかったし、もう帰ろう。私の言う通りにしてればいいの。まどかもあんな風になりたいの。そう、私たちを見てしまった。
Weird. Looks like it's some sort of ring-esque fate. It must be something very bad for this to be the for coming to this place to be the better option. Evening, Ivy. It's good to meet you. This is a labor of love on my part, because I basically had to find a copy of the game and then back it up and then unpack it, then put the English files from the patch into it manually, and then zip it back up and then bootstrap it from Homebrew app on my Wii. So it was very roundabout, but here we are. So it took some doing. Let's see. How is this going to be? How can I? There we go. So just kind of a note on the controls. Camera is controlled with the Wii Remote, and character movement by the this thing. And it's kind of tank control-y. You press Z to run, and you just run in the direction. Can't distinguish any of the letters. Old Polaroid photos. Can I look in first person yet? Oh, well, if you would like to stick around, I'm going to be streaming through the whole thing. So I know it's not going to be the same as playing it directly, but I intend to go through the whole game start to finish, starting this week. I stream evenings on Wednesdays, and it'll be going through, you know, one session at a time. Based on my last playthrough on this, which was back in 2020, I think we might get probably to maybe the middle to the end of October. Maybe you might wrap up on Halloween, which would be good timing. I'm really curious to see if this game has the, Yimi Swimmy, it's good to see you. I'm really curious to see if this game has the kind of immersive sound design that Killer 7 did, which, this would have been developed after Killer 7, since Killer 7 was GameCube, this is Wii. So, whatever chops Grasshopper manufacturer had forged for themselves at that time surely would have still been in place. The moon design is something that is a very Suda. How do I? Can I quick turn? No, that doesn't work. Is a very Suda thing. The moon shows up in pretty much everything that he does. Oh dear. No, I don't really. Oh, okay. Cool. Actually, this is interesting. So, I have a book, The Art of Grasshopper Manufacture, here, and they have a section dedicated to this game, and the majority of it. There's some ghost designs in it, but the biggest section is oh, they got a really nice camera there too. That's very cool. But the biggest section is dedicated to the concepting on the masks. There was a lot of work and a lot of iteration done on these. These almost look like they could be heaven smile faces, or something in that vein. It's neat. I think this will be worth scanning and maybe showing off in a later stream. Ivy, are you a Resident Evil? What game am I playing? Fatal Frame. A fan of these games. I've played 1 and 2 several times. Need to complete 3. Oh god. Also, how are you swimming? Hold the Z button to run. Turning around. Oh! Okay, so shake this for 180 turn. Very good. See, this is a great thing to find after you black out and your friend is missing. Their flashlight. That book, it's Grasshopper Manufacture, The Art of Grasshopper Manufacture. I think I wound up getting 2 copies the same year for my birthday, so I don't know where those folks got it from, but I think that probably Amazon or something you could find. Evening, Mimi. It's good to meet you. Yeah, Fatal Frame is rad. To examine items that are in the dark, use the Wiimote to control the flashlight by moving the Wiimote in any direction. The direction of the Wiimote determines where your flashlight will shine. Sound design is on point. Cool. I love having a vision of the hypnotized wraith form of my friend going into a room that has a very heavy, loud, ominous door. That's interesting. Look at the effect on the text is really cool. It sort of blurs and zips in from the right and then zips back out. That's neat. Since this was Grasshopper Manufacture, I'm particularly interested in any of those visual little visual nuances that they bring to this. I think weirdly enough, I think one of the few things that's more upsetting than being trapped in a haunted house is having the vulnerability of a window, which never scans as something you can get out through, and more scans as something that something can get in through. I played through this in 2020, once I did all the hard patching on it. But it has been a little bit here. So I kind of remember some of the things that I found uniquely scary. I think I know enough that that I might not get stuck in the same places that I was stuck last time, but not enough that I won't be scared. Oh, yeah. Have you played this one, Mimi? This game is keeping, oh, hey, wow, look at that intercom system. Game is keeping the, tradition of very slow plodding Fatal Frame, pro tags alive and well. Cool. Ah, nifty. I considered playing it on an emulator. It was worth it to me. Especially if something is designed for unique hardware, I really like going the extra mile if I can to make that a reality. So, in this case, it paid off. I feel like this was worth the effort. I love dead ends that I can run into and surely be taken by surprise from behind by a grabby ghost. They like to seize you and scare you. Yeah, that's my takeaway also. I was able to enjoy it because I understand the broad strokes of Fatal Frame stories, which is, oh my. Oh wow, the sound design is very different in headphones. Okay. So I'm actually getting a little nervous on that. Yeah, this game is intelligible if you understand the broad strokes of Fatal Frame, which is ancient spiritual responsibility of a village or other remote hamlet. Something went wrong with a ritual. Now everything is screwed up. Nobody can cross over. A lot of ghosts. There's a grudge, and you have to resolve that, and your fate is and your past are somehow intertwined with it. If you just start there, then you can pretty much just enjoy the rest of it along for the ride. I'm pausing because the sound design is very crisp and effective in headphones, and it's scaring me. Fatal Frame 1, I think, is my favorite. I have the best memories of playing through that one. Actually did a little bit of exploratory writing on that one. In particular because the camera, the reveal that the camera had the little mirror fragment in it was such a great turn. I feel like that was very clever. And I felt narratively inspired. Many different objects that you can examine while in the room. These objects will react and turn blue when your flashlight illuminates them. I realized as I'm playing through this that I really do hope that this stream has turnout. I know that it's not as popular as Demon's Souls, but if there's nobody to talk to, this is going to be a very rough ride. So, thank you for being here. Which one is your favorite, Mimi? Ah, there we go. Next to your flashlight, you can examine it by reaching out your hand. The A button icon is displayed when you approach an item. To reach out for the object, press and hold the A button. This will allow you to pick up and keep the object. If you release the A button, you can retract your hand and stop examining. Oh, right. This game does something interesting with tension on object pickup that I don't know if any of the other games do. Oh, cool. I've got the little blue thing which says that there's something supernatural nearby. I left you a spare museum key. I left the spare museum. Evening, Mahafun. It's good to see you. Glad you came around despite this not being a co-op. Care to lock the doors when you close for the night, as there are valuable exhibits on display. So, the museum key has been left for me, and... Oh, yes, okay. That's interesting. This game and... how are you, Mahafun? This game and Silent Hill Shattered Memories both use flashlights, interestingly, with the Wii Remote. It's key to the Aso Museum that I saw Misaki enter. You can open the menu by pressing the minus button on the Wiimote. On the menu screen, you can view the map, use items, and review notes and other files that you have found. You can open the map directly by pressing the plus button on the Wiimote. Cool. Yeah, this game has all the hallmarks of a solid Grasshopper mood piece, which are very good, good visuals, good pacing in terms of dramatic moments, and also very crisp, very eerie sound design. 2, I think, my understanding is 2 is generally regarded as the best of them. I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean, if that's your favorite, then it sounds like you would agree with that. Oh man, we're having a bad time, I think. Ah! Go, 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 go! Whew. Whew. Boy. Wait, your AC unit has a floor of 90 degrees before it kicks on? Yeah, Swimmy, I agree. I streamed to a couple of years ago, actually. It's hard to believe the stream's been going on for 2 years now. 2+ years, even. Yeah, 2 has more... 2 is scarier, I think, in many respects. 1, I think, will always be my favorite because it's the first one that I played. I have always, I have never finished 3. And I think the stream actually could be a really good opportunity, not this playing through this game, obviously, but playing through the other one, could be a really good opportunity to finally just plow through the ending of it. I always get to the part in the Dream Mansion where I'm doing stealthy stuff with the guy, with the male character, and then I just never follow through after that. Oh man. That is rough. I'm sorry to hear that, Mahafun. Whew. I truly have no idea how I would react if I were in this if I were in this situation.
Misaki?
Oh man. Well, I have. Let's see. I have it as a PS2 classic on PS3. I'm pretty sure it's the Tormented, right? I'm pretty sure I have a physical copy of that for PS2. No, I have not played 5. I played the demo on Wii U when that was out, but I have not finished it or played the full game properly. Does the general coolness of night help at all? I know that being nocturnal myself by preference and inclination, if that even though that's not really a practical way to live, I have often found that the cool of the night sort of compensates for that. At least when I lived in hotter areas. However, with temperature change, that's different everywhere now. So my old memories of that could no longer reflect reality. But in places the name Kunihiko Aso is visible. What is this? Interesting. I had not thought about this area being humid, but hot humid nights show up a lot in Suda games. Now that I think about it, so it's interesting that this would also be a humid environment. There's shadows that can only be seen by mediums. The thoughts of the dead linger in certain locations. In order to reveal these trails that lead to the spirit world, after many prototypes, the camera obscura was developed. However, it appears to need further improvement. As a result of my investigations into the masks of Rogetsu Island, I have made use of the materials and resources here to make a film plate. It is very likely that this will prove useful in my research into the camera obscura. I am now convinced that a power exists that exceeds my expectations, and that it is related to the strong effect of photographing the shadows has on them. A medium would probably say this comes close to exorcism. My personal experiences on this island have significantly influenced my arrival at this bold belief. I was asked to donate a single camera obscura to the main collection. I do not think that this island will need the power of the camera obscura. I hope it is unnecessary. Alright, so is this the same camera obscura that's been handed down since the very first or second games? I'm never clear if the camera obscura is independently invented by different professors and folklorists, or if it's the sort of like baton race. Oh man. Well, I'm sorry for the discomfort. Heat and humidity drive me nuts. It's one of the reasons why I'm super glad not to live in the Southeast anymore. Uh, so, you have my sympathies. That's a neat typewriter. Possibly. What does Itako mean? Camera obscura is fussy. It's an old camera. Is this the camera obscura that Nova's talking about? So this is neat. Let's, before this goes away, let's take a look at this concept, which I think is cool. Yeah. Right there, I think you can see the different steps of illustration that they used to arrive at this. Very neat. The model that shows up in the game is a little more squished, a little flatter, I think, than the concept art. Okay, interesting. Does this game establish that? Was Dr. Aso a recurring character? Oh, man. Ah! I knew it was coming! I knew it was gonna happen! The camera obscura captures the images of unseen things, which are then sealed inside. When a vengeful spirit appears, you can trap it inside the camera obscura by photographing it. Photographing it. How can I not say that word? Photographing it. Scared the language out of me. By pushing the B button, you can ready the camera obscura. The camera is readied. You press the A button to take a picture. When the camera is readied, if you continue to hold down the Z button when the ghost is in the center, you can lock on. Oh, that's great. Oh, wow. Whew. Oh, man. The sound design and how creepy and unsettling that is reminds me of the first time a Heaven Smile ever grabbed me when I was wearing headphones, and that is uniquely upsetting. So it's good. Interesting. Class instead of stereotypes. What is the I'm curious what the nuance there is. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I can find, move like this, If I hold it down, I get movement, but if I hold down Z, I get faster movement. And it appears that this stick only controls left and right, and the Wii Remote controls up and down. So, right. Oh, interesting. One thing I always really enjoyed about these games is how how academics are so central to the development of the story. Any game where a researcher has prominence is a game that is winning with me. The name Kunihiko Aso is visible on the right side of the picture. It's probably the person's name. Well, this one I also get to see his portrait. Humidity damaged though it may be. Ah! Rip. Whew. Let's see. Final chapter clear. I always save the very first save of any game, so I'm not going to write over that one. That's my clear file. What the hell was I doing where there's a difference of like... Oh, chapter 11, not chapter 2. I thought that was like chapter 1 and then chapter 2, and I'm like, why... what was I doing for like 11 hours to account for that? But no, this makes a lot more sense. Oh, that's a great visual transition. That's really cool. Yeah, very, Ring. Tormented, scared to death. Kinds of thing.
まどかは美咲と島に行くと私に告げ戻ってない。あの島へは近寄らないで、ルカ。お母さん、知らない方がいいことがあるの。でも私は確かめたい。あの時何があったのか。そして
It's interesting. I wonder who,
この先に何があるのか。
who she chartered the boat from. That's interesting. Yeah, the kind of interplay between blindness and insight shows up in more than a few instances in the Fatal Frame games. I agree, Mimi. I would love to see an official loc of this. I seem to remember something. I wonder if this falls into the same category of game that Suda has mentioned in interviews as being. I think he mentioned it being too Japanese to export, and I'm wondering if he means Moonlight Syndrome is specifically what he said that about. And I've never really known what he meant by that. Possibly that it requires enough background information as to make localization clean, make a clean loc impossible, or if it's simply so niche that there would be no significant market for it outside of Japan. I don't know, but this and Moonlight Syndrome have enough things in common that I wonder if there's a similar thought there. Yeah. Oh, Mahafun. I mentioned this earlier, but Mieko Kawakami's All the Lovers in the Night. Oh. This one right here. You seem to recognize it when I mentioned it before. I finished it. It's very good. And if you haven't read it yourself, I highly recommend it. It does something very startling and surprising in the last 10 pages that made me go, oh my god. That reverses so much of what I thought was going to happen. It's very good. I highly recommend it. Do I have the camera? No, I don't. I also celebrate and lift up fan translators. Having attempted a fan translation myself, and having run into the technical hurdles that made implementing anything that would have been translated impossible, anybody who finishes a project like this is a frickin' hero. Save data lantern can be used to organize photos into the album, change the game options, and exchange points for items. In addition to the lantern, a save option will be available after clearing each chapter. The shop is an interesting thing to put here. I believe the term is non-diegetic. Because I don't think there's any real story reason to be able to buy items at the lamp. I can get behind that. Woo! They put a premium on healing items, don't they? One thing that is about the implementation of the fan translation in this, which is A little difficult to parse is like if you look up there in the upper right for the name of the item, it says owned colon name of the item, then the number is the letters are really pushed very closely together, such to make it very hard to read. I'm watching this I'm playing this in widescreen because that's the TV's natural setting, so it's actually easier for me to read like this than I think it is over the regular 3-4 or 4:3 aspect ratio. And again, like those are the kinds of technical things that a developer supported loc would be able to account for. Copies of scenery of the island, but it's faded and I can't see the details clearly. Yeah, Mahafun, that actually was one of the reasons why MGS5 did not do as well with me as the other ones. I always considered Kojima sort of a maximalist creator. I feel like he's at his best when he's going big, and the subtlety that was sort of, I think, the target experience for MGS5, I felt did not play to his strengths. Yeah. Memo caught on the gate. Madoka's writing, since the silhouette of Rugetsu Island became visible, my heart has been aching. I don't remember anything about when I was on the island, but I feel like I'm suffocating. Just as Misaki said, something might be on that island. Misaki suddenly said she was going to Rugetsu Island, and I came along because I was worried about her. I'm afraid Misaki was tricked into going to the island. She wouldn't tell me her reason for going back. Soon we got closer to the island. Misaki was staring at it coldly. If I take my eyes off her, then we'll quickly be separated and... Marie and Tomoe... If I'm not with Misaki, then what might... ... Interesting. I'm tempted to read that first name as Marie, like, you know, the variation of Mary. If it's a Japanese name, then the syllables would each want to be pronounced, so it would be Maria. Is that right? I don't know. I guess it could be Marie, katakana, in the original. Yes. Yeah, Mahafun, with Sega Gaga, with the fan translation of that I attempted many years ago, that was the very problem that we ran into in terms of making that a workable translation. Is the only font that was in there was block width. There was no half width font, so you just didn't have any space on the screen for words of any length. The opening is great, yes, but I felt the ending, and also like, I get many of the reasons why Venom doesn't talk very much, but understanding why something is the way it is. Oh, hey, cool! I made it back this way from the other side. Understanding why something is the way it is doesn't always make you like it. So, Madoka... I'm trying to think about the timeline here. Is this happening simultaneously, or is she seeing Madoka's shade going through the same motions at a later time? Probably, the camera's in a different place, so this is probably after that. Evening, Gerbil. Good to see you again. How are you? Ah, gotcha. Thank you, Mahafun. That's interesting. There's different description text for her character. I don't know how well it comes across over the audio in the game, but as the character reaches toward it, you hear this sort of like grinding, like very tight rope sound as the hand nears. It's very affecting. Talks about a disappearance. Suspicious deaths of a mass of Rugetsu Islanders. Yesterday afternoon at 4:30 p.m., when the captain of the ship Oboromaru arrived at Rugetsu Island port, reported that many of the islanders had been killed. At the time of the discovery, the police were concerned that the group had been infected by an epidemic since they were, I'm guessing that word is found in a horrific state, covering their faces with their hands. Epidemic is an interesting word there. Where are the remaining islanders? Traces of remaining islanders have been seen on the island, but the survivors have yet to be discovered. At the same time as the bodies are recovered by the police, the search will continue. Despite the fact that many of the islanders are dead or missing, there is no evidence of an accident or struggle. The islanders appear to have suddenly disappeared at the scene, and the police have announced that the necks of the bodies were unnaturally twisted. Well, that's kind of bearing the lead, isn't it? Well, maybe not the lead, but I kind of put that detail out there. Maybe this isn't clickbait journalism, and maybe that's what I've become infected by. Madoka was the girl who entered this place with Misaki, right? And who Misaki sort of blacked out, and then saw Madoka gone, then found her flashlight. Is that right? I'm much better at retaining details when I'm not streaming, because multitasking, like reading, remembering, and talking, is dicey. Dust has been wiped off the fallen notebook like someone touched it recently. Rugetsu Island, historically known as the island nearest the underworld, has long been feared. However, times have changed. The Rugetsu archipelago seems to no longer be the kind of place that is closed off to outsiders. Once there was some kind of great disaster that destroyed the island, but it has started to recover. Instead of disliking an unusual person like me, they introduced me to the valuable cultural Rugetsu Kagura ritual and the island's many beautiful clouded moon carvings. I seemed to be welcomed by the islanders to the point where it began to overwhelm me. I came to this island to search for material for my camera specific to this island's religion. On Rugetsu Island, the moon is considered a religious object. On the island, when the moon is inside the sun, as with an eclipse, memory and personality and consequently the soul are revealed. What interesting phrasing. When the moon is inside the sun as with an eclipse. Which implies there are other circumstances when that could be true instead of an eclipse, and that's neat. It is thought that the soul remains even after the body is gone in the other world, and that the moon is the doorway to this other world. The moon is certainly a symbol of the other world. Souls of the dead return to the island during the Kagura dance, and this is the main function of the island's masks. The shrine maidens wear masks during the ritual, and it is believed that at this time the moon makes contact between this world and the world of the dead. A mask connected to the other world... Oh wait, he's musing. A mask connected to the other world. There is more than one variety of mask on the island. Various types are used. By examining these masks, I will surely make great advances into my research of the other world. Okay. Man, Dr. Aso really just manages to find all of these corrupted gateways to the other world. Ah. Well, what a thing to find. The camera taking a picture of you as you approach it to let you know that it's there is a nice touch. I'm interested that the camera wants to be found in this one. It's a little more adamant than in the other games. So Madoka's writing. Rugetsu Hall is just past here. So I came back to the island. My dizziness has gotten worse. The air doesn't move. It hurts to breathe. It's the scent of this place. Until now, things like scents and music made me remember the things I had forgotten. Like the time when Ruka let me listen to the song she made. Although I remember some things, they aren't clear. Things like a sense of touch or pain. These words are just too vague. But this time it's different. From deep within me, a huge dark mass is going to come out. Someday it'll break through my mind. At least it will be fine if I wait until Ruka gets here as well. Okay, thank you. Just making sure that that I had the characters the same. 9 times out of 10, if two different characters who are in the same scene have the same first letter of their name, my brain gets them switched. So I wanted to kind of cross-reference that. Thank you. Yeah. Indicator on top of the display is called the ghost filament. Direction of spiritual energy. Red is aggressive, blue is other. Item filament. In front of an item or examinable object. Reporting Dr. Oso's visit. Could it be about the creation of this room? Oh yeah, I remember this game has a lot of text, a lot of documents and journals and articles and stuff like that. Renowned expert on paranormal science, Dr. Kunihiko Aso has come to visit Rugetsu Island. It has been the doctor's longtime wish, as a folklore expert, to visit our island and study our traditions. Plans to travel to the island tomorrow to observe the Rugetsu Kagura. During the occasion, many visitors from the mainland are expected to visit. Subsequent to his visit, the room at Rugetsu Hall, where Dr. Aso currently resides, will be left open to the public as a reference and study room. Okay. So that's this room here. Blue crystals. Yeah, that hand reaching out to grab something is absolutely the foundation for a jump scare. So I wince every time it starts. Okay, this is upgrade material. Oh, nope. Oh, weird. So if I turn the remote like this, it kind of goes to the side. It's interesting. I think I would almost rather it just be up and down. And the side to side be handled by this. A doll called Hozuki dolls are a traditional gift of the Rugetsu archipelago. They started being made for the memorial service by parents who had lost a child. The Hosoki dolls. I think there's part of the sentence missing. The Hosoki dolls is unlucky, assuming they bring disaster. But Rogetsu Island is an exception, and the dolls are placed in various locations as custom. Okay, so objects generally believed to be creepy or bad that are just hanging out in this place, because that's normal here. Ah, okay. You encounter a strange fog, snap a photo. Taking a picture of the fog will ensure something else to appear in the picture. Will cause something else to appear in the picture. The images that appear are important clues to advancing the story. Alright. Do I need... Oh, okay. Needs to be blue. Okay. Oh man, I gotta go back into Ghost Hall. The guts of any character in this series are just amazing. Ah! Oh. There she is. Whew. Looked like a nurse, but was that the power of this camera? Okay. Silent Hill 2006, was that the one with Sean Bean in it? I don't remember the names of the actresses for Sybil and the main character. Like, I remember they kind of like did a combination of Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 1 of going to the town to find the lost daughter or something. Anyway, I remember enjoying it. I thought it was quite good. Okay. Okay. So that will be something to find. Intro chapter, First Blossoms. Gonna try to read this. Within a secluded archipelago lies Rugetsu Island. 10 years ago, 5 girls were kidnapped in the midst of the island's Rugetsu Kagura dance. A single detective began a search and recovered the girls, but they all suffered from an unusual amnesia. Interesting, there's information in this that was not given during the chapter. I don't believe the detective was introduced then. 2 years later, another strange incident occurred on Rugetsu. The inhabitants of the island vanished. It was recently discovered that a large number of the islanders had gone missing, and the police confirmed that many had died. The deceased islanders were found covering their faces with both hands as if they were scared of seeing something, with an expression of agony and their faces distorted. Eventually, the investigation came to an impasse, and the case was left unresolved. No, it's unsolved. Since then, the island has become devoid of visitors and left uninhabited. Now 2 girls come to Rugetsu Island. Misaki Yaso. Oh, there you go. You were right. And Madoka Taukimori? That doesn't seem right. Tsukimori. That's it. TSU. Tsukimori. 2 of the 5 girls who were kidnapped 10 years ago. They've returned with an uneasy purpose. 2 of their friends, Marie and Tomoe, died under mysterious circumstances. Like Misaki and Madoka, the girls were victims of the strange kidnapping. Their deaths closely resembled the conditions of the deceased islanders. Misaki senses a connection between the deaths of her friends and the events on Rugetsu Island. Together they return to Rugetsu Island to search for the truth. Madoka eventually becomes separated from Misaki and finds a strange camera, the camera obscura. When Madoka looks through the viewfinder, she sees the form of a hideous, vengeful ghost. Surrounded by ghosts, she falls into unconsciousness. Wow, there's a lot in there that I don't think was really communicated during that first gameplay sequence. I think that last paragraph is what my main takeaway would have been. So good. I'm glad they summarized a lot of the information that I would have been piecing together through files and the like. Yeah, this is a neat little resource that's quite varied. Under the records menu, under summary, interesting. Oh, Moonforest, so Tsuki, not Tsuki, but Tsuki. Okay, thank you. Tsukimori. Patient suffering from the feeling that her body is tearing itself apart. She has forgotten her name and hopes that it will return to her soon. that last part of that sentence is a very important thing to phrase as maybe kind of like a throwaway. Like you're talking about your cat or something. Losing your identity under the light of the moon is also a very Suda thing. The moon showed up there at the end of the chapter, which is absolutely what happens during the Silver Case in the 25th Ward, which I've been playing recently. And dissolution of the self is a huge Suda thing. Oh, weird. Equip is the menu that I go to upgrade. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad I searched this out. I would not have thought that equip would be where I do that. Alright, let's find those masks. Ugh. That's 3. Man, look at that frame rate just plummet as it loads the new area. Ah! No, 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 no! Ah! Missed it. Hold on 1 second. Alright, this is a pretty good time to take a break. Evening, Mexican Sting. It's good to see you. I'm not taking a break for super long, but I need to go check on something. I will be right back. I bet if I leave this game alone for a little bit, it will start doing creepy things as an idol. So now is going to be our chance to see that. So, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. This. There we go. Cool. So thank you everybody for your patience. I'm back, and okay, that's the chair falling over, and me almost with it. Cool. That's how weight distribution works. I was thinking that the kid running down the hallway, I'm used to the other Fatal Frame snapping the camera at the incidental ghost when you see them. This one kind of, it doesn't really, but it seems to give you maybe a little more time to react. Yeah. I mean, why mess with that tradition? All the other Fatal Frame games do it. I think Fatal Frame 1 has the scariest of them to me. I love idle animations. I think idle animations are such a great opportunity for storytelling. Interesting. Yeah, everything's fine. Just, you know, parent life. This is interesting. So if I hold the Wii Remote straight forward, but if I rotate it 90 degrees, my character will look about 45 degrees in that direction. I situate it back again. I rotate it again, and she does it in the other direction. Here. But she doesn't completely turn. It's like, basically this is doing the work of what the R stick would be on a regular controller. So that's neat. It's also good to get up and stretch the legs. This is a very comfortable chair, and it invites you to sit cross-legged, which can really kind of screw with your muscles. I mean, funny that you mentioned that. I have on my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, I have a video of Jin from Ghost of Tsushima, just basically sleeping with his horse for about an hour to 2 hours, watching the weather change as he snoozes. I also have one from Evil Within 2 of Sebastian waiting for coffee to brew, and that's about like a 25-minute video. And I put those on in the background if I want something soothing. So, Mexican Sting, what I'm saying is I support this. Placed on the piano. Seems that Madoka wrote this. I will just write something. Anything is good, but if I don't write anything, it will just go away. If I don't write, I forget. If I don't write, it's all over. I forget what, but it's all coming to an end. It's coming closer, slowly, it's coming closer. Melting, mother, help me, help. Everybody treats me like a toy, stop shaking me. I'm guessing that would be the ghosts who are possessing her and probably shoving her around in the hallway as ghosts do. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the original hardware, Mimi, is especially with unique control systems. I think it's really cool to see. Oh, was that the piano making a noise? Thank you. My favorite is really the Evil Within 2 video, because the title of it is Fastest Coffee Refill Trick, or Easiest Coffee Refill Trick. And I have at least 2 friends have been snagged by it, thinking that something is going to happen besides just letting it time out. Power of Legends camera skew, you can inflict many harmful effects on ghosts. No way! That's wild. I didn't know you could do that. In your menu, go to the camera obscura section, then select power up lenses. Equip. To use the lens, press the C button. Once you've accumulated enough power, power is gained naturally during a fight, is what I assume that means. Reads. You can only use the lenses you have equipped. You can also switch lenses using the up and down buttons on the D-pad. Lenses you have equipped. Alright. Oh, I see. That's the equipped one, and on the right, there's probably going to be more little circles that show up. How are you, Mexican Sting? What? I cannot read that text at the top of the screen. That's really neat. It gives me the red filament. That is a malicious ghost, but caught in a non-malicious moment. There's a small key attached to a carved wooden token. Oh, this gets me upstairs. Cool. Okay. I saw somebody playing Silent Hill Shattered Memories on emulator on a stream, and the movement was very precise with the with what I assume was the mouse, and like maybe precision sort of undermines how these games should be played, like that. Entrance hall, second floor gates, instructions on opening. Switch on the control panel in the storeroom under the large staircase in the entrance hall. Big door opens with the number 13. Take note not to operate it without permission from the management office. I don't think that this will be my my task here, but I think it would be interesting if I had to find a ghost who was the manager and get permission from him or her to do that. I don't think I can look. Okay. Whew. Well, now I know I've got the key and I've done the thing, and now I'm gonna get attacked. And I don't want to stay here, but I also don't want to deal with that. Yeah, this one has Wii Motion Plus on it. These, I've never been very clear what exactly what benefit that gives me. Isn't this where I came in? It is where I came in. Gotcha. Man in kitchen. After wandering the darkness of Rugetsu Hall, he entered the dining room's kitchen trying to escape, but there is nowhere left to hide. Came back to find the key that she had forgotten in the dining room. It's still on the table. Ah, this is where that kid would show up if I'd caught him. Cool. Oh, these paper screens make it so easy to set up a jump scare. Holding this item. Do I need to equip it? Okay, this is just holding it means having it in my inventory. It's interesting. I did not know that. I got this controller. Ah, here we go. This is where the picture was. Ah! That actually makes this much worse. Death of the last survivor. There was an old newspaper article stuck to the case. Death of the last survivor of mass disappearance. At 10 a.m. today, it was announced that the hospitalized girl, the last survivor in the case of a group of disappearances that occurred on Rugetsu Island, had died. The cause of death was shock compounded by physical frailty. Just ready to be spooked to death, I guess. It's interesting. Distinct from the other Fatal Frame games, this appears to be set very close to modern times, and there are certain traditional architectural elements here, but the I don't know the word I'm looking for. The word feudal comes to mind, but I don't think it's that far back. those settings, those traditional settings from Fatal Frames 1 and 2, are much further back in a different environment than I think anything that Suda creates is set in. So it's interesting. I wonder how the setting was arrived at in this game, something that's closer to modern times, which is interesting. Yeah, I think there's an additional challenge of the fact that not only are the games retro, but the audience that was most enthusiastic about them... Oh, hey, this took me in a circle. The audience that's most enthusiastic about them is aging and might not play games very much anymore, so it would take a special effort of sort of marketing and outreach to build up that base, that interest again. That's my gut reaction. I could be completely wrong on that, though. I wonder if I can still look at that key. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess that's another question that I've never asked, and would be interesting to, is where the sources of that nostalgia are, and who relates to them more clearly. Mystery of the group disappearance case deepens. 2 weeks have passed since the investigation, and the islanders' whereabouts are still unknown. The group disappeared on Rugetsa Island during the summer, and even from the start of the investigation, there were fears the search would be discontinued. The islanders' cause of death is also still unknown. It has been ascertained that the group did not contract the plague. However, there is no specific cause of death. I mean, maybe because we just came out of a pandemic, associating that particular kind of death, fairly gruesome body horror damage to like a disease is unexpected. Officials have said that there is a suspected connection with covering their faces with their hands and their contorted and twisted facial expressions. Ah! You dumb mummy. Control panel with a row of numbered switches. I want to examine this room a little more. Evening, Ark. It's good to see you. 13 was the hint. There we go. I think, yeah, I mean, you're right. I agree with you. Uh, I guess the only ones I really know about are Shattered Memories, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, and this. It's 54. It's interesting. Oh dear. Whew. I thought there was somebody behind the column. It's interesting. It implies that she tried to make it chime, and I don't think I would do that at all in this situation. Game is good. Game is creepy. Game is doing a lot of really good grasshopper things in terms of visual and sound design, and is also quality Fatal Frame creepy. So I am pleased with it. Let's see, what time are we at? 11:07. Yeah, we've got a little bit more. There we go. Oh, this is where Sokka wound up. Yeah, I played this a couple of years ago. Oh crap, now I'm here with a weapon. I'm definitely gonna get attacked in a small space. But I only remember enough about it to kind of know what I need to do. I don't remember enough about it not to be scared. How is my health? Doing alright. I'm not sure what I'm looking for in here. Maybe I don't need to be in here at all. Yeah. Ah! Jesus Christ. I like how they just stalk you as environmental photo op ghosts before they actually just attack you outright. Actually, I don't think I like that at all. I just would rather not be attacked by ghosts. When I look at my face, I don't understand what it's becoming. I don't know my own face. My face, know my face. Two people the same. Madoka's having a rough time. And I need to follow him in here. I'm sure that's what this means. They've been seeding health items for a while now. I think it's definitely time to get attacked. Weird. You can hear kids whispering on the other side of a wall. Crystal radio scared about. Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. Old cassette tape. Tape recorder. Okay. It's very faint. Bizarre. Luna Sedata. I guess that's the whatever it is that they're all suffering from that causes a dissolution of self. Well, clearly the doctor's not a good man. Which, in creepy old-style mental health facilities, they rarely are. That's kind of where that goes. The higher type of film you use to shoot ghosts, the greater damage you'll inflict. Oh, yes, this is Fatal Frame. Well, I see a source of light beckoning me over to it. Diary of Scribbles. Rain. Today I found it again. This time it happened to be in the dining room. It was the mask. They can't take it away. They aren't allowed to. They have to give it back. I found it today. I hid the mask well under the bed. They won't take it again. They came and took it. Don't follow me. Ah, I've got to go get this thing, don't I? Oh, wow. Ah! There we go. Let's get different film in here. Ah! Okay. Ah, crap. Go, 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 go. No. Whew. Someone stole it. If they don't return it soon, I'll disappear fast. Give it back, give it back, give it back. Disappear, give it back. So it sounds like he was using the mask to protect himself from dissolution. Whew. Someone made a mask with teeth. Cool. Oh, is this something I can take a picture of for fun and profit? No, that doesn't matter. Yeah, this crystal radio was able to, I mean, it's like somebody picking up the phone on the landline when you're trying to dial AOL. Been a problem for a very long time. I'm going to guess that that is meant to draw my attention to the fact that that exists. I don't seem to be able to do anything with it. I feel on edge like something is about to happen. Yep. Okay. There she is. Oh, I'm storing up a charge for my special attack, and I'm not even paying attention to that. Okay, that's worth noticing. They are. If you press the Z button on the nunchuck while you've got them in your sights, it will lock onto them, which is welcome. I did not know that the first time I played through this, and I was trying to follow it with the Wii remote, it just having zero luck whatsoever. So that is a big quality of life improvement on this playthrough. Strengthen the effectiveness of your lenses. Oh, okay. Nifty. And having the moonlight come vertically straight down into this room is a very nice touch. Both for what moonlight kind of means in this setting, and also just oh wait, did I say that? I don't remember. And also just visually, it's quite lovely. Actually, Mahafun, if you're around at Mexican Sting, folks who have been around the stream for the past few episodes, have you noticed any hiccups or any stream lagging or choppiness? Because I adjusted the router position, and I feel like that should have a that should improve things. Yeah, I know. It's basically ever since I moved into this place. But if it has improved this time for this stream, that suggests that the router placement is better. Ah, shoot. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I'm concerned that nothing short of a hardwire connection will really fix that. Okay, so okay. Oh wow, I've got a pretty straight shot back then. Ah, Jesus Christ. Go, 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 go. Oh God, he's following me. He's following me. Ah! This guy's super aggressive. Ah. I'm gonna use my... special ability, which I don't... No! Run, 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 run! Alright, let's... Wait, what? Cool. Picked up a pamphlet. Once every 10 years, which is just the most pedestrian thing to, like, have done after fighting that ghost. He found some tourism literature. Once every 10 years on Ragutsu Island, the Kagura dance, the island's biggest ritual, is performed. The highlight of the festival is held at the Lunar Eclipse Hall. A shrine maiden called the Utsuwa, meaning vessel, and several handmaidens called Kanade, meaning accompanist, are the lead roles in this mysterious dance. Thank you for visiting Rogetsu Island. We advise tourists from outside the island to share the island's vast history with friends and family. Yeah, this is what's weird about this game in particular of the Fatal Frame games, is it's the only setting where this sort of like spiritual Hellgate apocalypse happened that had like a modern economy, and that's very interesting to me. Oh God. Yes, Mexican Sing, you are correct. I cannot do horror movies. That doesn't sit well with me. Even trailers to horror movies run havoc in my brain. Yeah, he did. I also didn't switch to an attack grade film soon enough. I think he probably could have gone down with fewer shots arc if I had. But the important thing is he didn't get me. And I'm going to save my game, even though I'm pretty sure this chapter is nearing its end. In case something happens, I don't want to have to do that again. Yeah, the major difference between challenges in horror games versus challenges in action games. Challenges in action games, like Revengeance, right? It's like you want to go through and get a better rank. Challenges in horror games, it's like, please God, let me never have to endure that again. That thing that I just willingly subjected myself to. I'm curious, Mexican Sing, what was the movie? Here we go. Oh, cool. The sound of my friend crying on the other side of a door in a haunted mental hospital. Oh, the Nick Cage remake of The Wicker Man. Is that the one with the mid-aught iconic gif of Nicolas Cage screaming about bees? Oh man, this frame rate. This frame rate rules. Love it when it grinds and like goes ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. The abyss of memory. Senses in the body. I mean, I wish there were an academic journal titled The Abyss of Memory. That would rule. Most of them are something like, I don't know, Dalton Review or something. Really? Weird. That's the only thing I really know about Wicker Man, so I assumed that that was the thing. Man, the weird dog eyes. Oh man. So when I played Oblivion on PS3, and I bought a house in a city in the southwest of Cyrodiil. I bought a piece of furniture, a little ring display case, and I thought I would use it to store rings that my thief character had pickpocketed off of people wandering around Cyrodiil. And I didn't know at the time that collision was really bad there between individual objects and furniture and individual objects that are next to each other on furniture. So I would just keep going into this room and depositing rings into this ring case. The collision between the furniture and the rings was bad, but then when I got more than 10 in there, it began to noticeably just chug really hard. And the fiction that I came up for was I had mixed rings of some sort of magical incompatibility that was basically breaking time and reality. I was found out by guards and fled into my house thinking it would be safe. But they chased me in there. And as soon as we got into that room, they died. They died. I don't know if it killed them or something else did, but I'm very pleased to think that the grinding in that room that dropped the frame rate to like 5 murdered them, and their bodies were doing, the sort of physics body caught in a door, spazzing out, going crazy. I'm sorry, spazzing out I think is insensitive. But kind of like flicking around everywhere. Yeah, so I just like to think that I put so many rings in that case that it broke reality in that one very specific bubble of Cyrodiil. Oh, cool. I was playing on PlayStation 3, so absolutely no opportunity whatsoever to optimize performance. Awesome, Ark. Glad that you made it by, and yeah, I'm hoping to start earlier next week too. So, I hope you have a great day. Huh. Ah, Jesus Christ! No, I didn't know anything about breaking the fourth dimension. Please distract me from this and explain this to me. Ah, crap! Oh my god. No, 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 go, 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 go! No, oh my god, don't get caught on Geo! Oh my god. Oh man. Oh man. Wow, what a wrap up to that chapter. The cascading books at like 5 frames per second behind Madoka, Cursed Madoka. I don't think it's intended to perform that way, but it wound up being a nice touch nonetheless. Oh, that's fantastic. No, I'd love to see that. Whew. Let's watch the start of this chapter.
次は私たちの番だから。神隠しにあった5人は順番に。やめてよ。ここにきっと何かあるはず。
Crackly, gross, gooey sound effect is especially unsettling. Oh man. What a hell of a place to come to in. Oh, okay. So this jives with what Mimi said about Misaki being in Dr. Aso's family because she would have one. It's neat. It's a different design, much simpler, less ornate. Prototype camera obscura, as proof of our research, is entrusted to the descendants of the Aso family. This is the first successful copy of the camera obscura that I've thought of as a strong example of my work. the first solid step toward conclusive evidence of the theory of my predecessor and I. It hasn't been attempted, but my theory that images of the dead may be sealed inside the film is feasible. However, Shinto priests and shrine maidens are sensitive to spirits, and it has a strong effect on them. The prohibition of its use is expected.
私の家にあった過去を映すカメラ。これでなくした記憶の手がかりがつかめるはず。まどかはどこ？
It's interesting that Madoka saw an image of Misaki going into the museum, and Misaki appears to have no memory of that? That's strange. Alright. Alright, I'm super curious to see if there's anything revealed here that we didn't see in the chapter. If we cannot remember, does it no longer exist? Chasing Misaki and Madoka, another person, a girl, comes to Rogetsu Island. Ruka Minasuke, one of the girls who was kidnapped 10 years ago. She was a native of the island, and after the incident, left the island with her mother, Sayaka. Ruka also returns to the island with reasons of her own. Daughter of an influential family, she wants to recover the memories she lost 10 years ago, to find her father's fate and the fate of all the islanders, and most of all, her own fate. To find the key to her memory, Ruka wanders Rogetsu Hall and encounters Madoka, who has become a ghost. Ruka sees her own face in the library mirror, distorted and ugly. Okay, a little bit of it, new info there, and that's pretty cool. So, that will be where we pick up next week. So, thank you everybody for coming out. It's a great crowd, and as I said, I played through this alone the first time I did this, and I don't want to do that again. So please attend the streams. I need this. I need the support. Oh, this is also one of the things I've come to really enjoy doing over the past couple of weeks is listening to a radio station, WWV. It's a shortwave station broadcast out of Fort Collins, Colorado, that is run by NIST, and a lot of it is, of course, heard through static because it's shortwave radio and there's a ton of distortion with electronic devices. And I think that after playing this game, that will be a little less comfortable, a little less comforting than it has been. There's something very soothing about listening to the keeping of time. But thank you, Mimi. It's great to meet you. I hope you come out next week. It's always great to have somebody who's knowledgeable with a love of these games in the audience. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. Have a great night.